Hello guys, and welcome to a new WARNO video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I'm excited to share with you an overview of the 1st Canadian Division available in the new SOUTHAG expansion. 8 of the divisions are released now, including this one, and available early if you own the expansion pass or gold edition. Let's jump on in. I'll go through all of the units and we'll put together a quick deck. So starting here with the MLVW supply. It's a 30-point supply vehicle with 750 supply available. It's pretty slow off-road at 50 km per hour, 90 km per hour on-road. We have the Manka 6x6, solid supply vehicle, 2000 supply, 90 km per hour on-road, 75 km per hour off-road, which is really nice. 60 points, 3 on a card. Then we got the M577 Queen Mary CP, which is an okay armored CV. Unfortunately, you only get 2 on a card, so it kind of sucks. But M54 8A2, this is decent supply vehicle, 1,500 supply. It's not so fast off-road, but carries a decent chunk of supply for sure. And then we got the CH147, the good old Chinook, with 2,000 supply in that bad boy. 10% ECM is nice to keep it alive if it gets called up by AA, but generally you're going to want to have this like a little bit further back. There's the ILTIS CP available. 3 on a card makes this very favourable. 90 km per hour off-road speed as well. 100 km per hour on-road. Going to get to the front line nice and quick and cap those points for you. Then we got the field supply point if you need it. Moving on to the infantry tab, we have the CFMP, which is your military police, 4-man squad with submachine guns. They have the CUCV CFMP, which is the technical with the military police trait, which is nice. So you can have that like follow a tank around or something like that, just to help it with its cohesion. We got the 50 cal, which is available. Can upvet it. Comes with the CUCV again. Then we have motorized rifles. Motorized rifle leader comes with the Carl Gustav and smoke grenades. You get a C8 and 5 C7s. So you got like the carbine and the M16s. It's an okay leader, like 6 strengths, okay-ish. Smoke grenade and AT is nice. You can bring them in with the MLVW, again, kind of slow off-road, but you can also get the Grizzly. And the Grizzly is really nice. So you get 2 front armor on the Grizzly. It comes with a 50 cal and the M240B, is that? Like a C6 it's called as the Canadians. But yeah, it's a nice dual MG transport for 30 points with 2 front armor and it's fast. So the Grizzly is actually really nice. Moving on, we got the motorized rifles here with the C7s and the C9, so that's like M16s and M249 with the law, 13 penetration, 45% accuracy, 675 meters with 20 round per minute rate of fire. It's okay. I mean, you can like zoom these into combat in Grizzlies and drop them off in people's faces. Trouble is, it's only 6 men, so they're going to die pretty fast. I quite like this setup though, like the 6 C7s with a Carl Gustav. Again, you can kind of drop these on people's faces. But better than all of those is the motorized rifles with the Erics. I was really curious like what the Eric stats would be when we got in game, and they're really strong. So it's a tandem anti-tank missile with 26 penetration. The range is limited at 1050, but that's the same as like a Dragon 2. But you have 6% accuracy. This seems really nice. Really, really solid squad for like just reaching out a little bit further and touching those tanks. I think these could be really, really strong if they're used correctly. We've got tank hunters, which come with double Carl Gustav, 6-man squad. They have the CUCV option or the CH135. Then we got the Pioneers. So Pioneer leader, 5-man squad, no smoke, no AT, nothing like that, unfortunately, but they do get shock trait. They can come with the ILTIS or the M13 with the Dozer, which is interesting. Pioneer, pretty standard stuff. So you got 7 C7s. You've actually got 2 machine guns, which is nice for like a close range squad actually. like 2 M249s is kind of nice because they can fire those on the move as well. And then their satchel charge there. So you get in the shock trait, 50 points. It seems like an okay squad. M13s, M13 with the dozer. The dozer does get more armor on the front because of its dozer, and it's the same price, so you might as well bring it. You do lose the amphibious capability, but that's not too important. MLVWs, generally I would avoid them, just because they're so slow off-road. Pioneers with flamethrowers, again, double MG with a flamethrower, could be pretty decent. Could be pretty decent. And again, M113 with 50 cal fire support could be useful, so I'd probably take that. Right now we got the reserves, so military police might be kind of important, but I don't think the weapons are very good here. So we got C1 SMGs, we got the C1 which is basically a FAL, and then we got the C5 which is a 30 cal with a Carl Gustav for a leader. For a leader, 8-man is fine, and reserves doesn't really matter for your leaders, so that's okay. But then the actual reserve squads themselves only get M72 laws with the same sort of loadout, and they get the C2, which is kind of a bit of a meh machine gun. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. There could be a way to kind of like spam at the enemy. Then we got mech rifle leaders. So mech rifle leaders, really nice. Really solid squad. 11 strength. So you get 1 C8, 10 C7s, a Carl Gustav, and a smoke grenade. Bring them in with an M113. That is like the best leader you're going to get here, for sure. Standard mech rifles in the M113 again. Really nice squads. Double machine gun, Carl Gustav. This one gets triple machine gun because you get the extra C6 M240, and then you got the escort version, which is sort of a bigger squad with an extra close range weapon, an extra carbine, but you lose 2 machine guns, maintaining the C6. I guess kind of 1 machine gun. You get 1 machine gun, and then the M2. Carl Gustav, yeah. All right, then we got ITOs and the ITO 2 as options for HORNETS. I think the infantry here is okay-ish. I think the Grizzlies are kind of fun. It's just a shame that they don't utilize them more. You're going to be using a lot more M113s than Grizzlies. Right, artillery tab. Only 1mm mortar. Yeah, that's about it. That's all there is to really say there. We have 155mm artillery, but it's kind of short range and reasonably low rate of fire. Like it's 3 round per minute rate of fire, 14,000 meters, and 3.4 damage. So you're probably just going to be using the M109 for the most part because you get that extra range, same rate of fire, 3.41 damage. Yeah, it's probably just going to be the go-to. Then we have tanks, so I mean M13 with recoilless, what a tank. But either way, 35% accuracy, 17 pen. I mean, if you up double vet these, maybe they can do some damage, but nothing crazy there. You can get the M113 with the ITO, or you can get the TUA M113, which gets the TOW 2, which is actually a good system. So yeah, this is not too bad. The only thing that lets it down is obviously its stealth. But if you're engaging a max range, then it will still do a lot of damage. The best way to use something like this is usually behind like your tanks. So if you're engaging with the leopards at like max range, then you have like one of these behind those tanks as well, firing its HGM, then the tanks will usually get focus first and allowing your HGMs to free fire. You have Cougars here, so very similar loadout to something like a scimitar, except they're really fast. So in this case, it's a leader. It's actually kind of a nice leader for 70 points, like decent speed. Because you've got like way more activation points to work with in this tab, maybe Cougar CP would be worth thinking about, but a little bit conscious of the availability still. And you got the standard Cougars here. I just don't feel like they're going to be like that useful. Don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say. Like against infantry, maybe they provide good fire support or something, but that 10 penetration is not doing much against armor. Then we got Ito Jeeps, which do get good stealth, which is nice. Leopard C1 CP. So 2,275 meter range, 60% accuracy. It's solid. You know, like this is sort of great. The great thing about Leopards, it's similar to like the T-55s with the 2,275 meter range. You kind of use them as like sniping tanks. Same goes for like the standard C1 here. So this is just the standard variant. It doesn't get the free vet, but you'd still up vet these anyway, and then take advantage of the extra accuracy here. It'd be tempting to even 3 vet or like 2 vet these and then have a 3 vet. That way you push it to like 70% accuracy, which would be really nice with the leader nearby. Moving on to the recon tab, we have ourselves a sniper team. Remember that sniper get an extra level of stealth and damage bonus when not moving for 10 seconds. So that does make them pretty useful for like sitting around in unlikely positions. Then we have the Recce squad, which is a 3-man squad for 25 points. You just scatter these around and hope they never bump into anything, but they do have a lore at least to defend themselves. There's also GSR, 3-man squad with the lore. Like this is just like a straight up upgrade here because the GSR trait pushes from very good optics to exceptional optics when they're not moving. And then you have Mech Recce, which are going to be like sort of supplementing your frontline forces. 8-man squad with 2 machine guns, Calico Stav M2 is nice. You've got the Recce M113. It's okay. It'll be useful because it can spot infantry and then engage them at range with the 50 cal, but I don't know. I guess, yeah, that would be the option. Then there's the CH-136 with very good optics. You've also got the same with a minigun, so gets a little minigun on it. And then there's the M113 Lynx. Unfortunately, no like autocannon like the Dutch ones, but yeah, 50 cal and a 30 cal. It's alright. It does get good stealth at least, so you can hide it. Kugareki could be good. I mean, it's 55 points. It's actually cheaper. Oh no, it's like 5 points more for good optics. I don't know how I feel about it. And then the CL-89, another rocket with a... It's really interesting, like the rocket with the camera on it. Like there's so many factions have these in this expansion. It's very weird, but kind of cool, I guess. Regardless, this tab is not that great. I think, you know, some of this infantry is fine. You know, like these guys, if you spread them out, they're gonna be recon for you. Like that's it. It's not really any like fighting level forces in the recon tab. Right, AA. All right, this is kind of interesting. So blowpipe, garbage tier, right, with 30% accuracy, and for HE. But say you up vet these to 2 vet, right? So you got 40% accuracy. You can also get a CUCV with a blowpipe on it. Look at that for 25 points. That's kind of cool. I like this combination. And this is only 10 points. So you can kind of like spam these pretty hard. There's a Javelin, which gets 55% accuracy, 2,400 meter range. Like the blowpipe actually has 2,600 meter range against helicopters. So that's pretty good. But it's obviously like nothing against aircraft. But yeah, this is like 2,475 against helicopters, 2,300 against aircraft. Unfortunately, no blowpipe transport for the Javelins. Otherwise, that'd be really cool as well. There is a M113 with an LML, which I think is actually kind of something you shouldn't underrate, because LMLs on their own are actually pretty good. The only thing that lets like LMLs down, like for the Brits, for example, is that they can't move very quickly and they can't go in buildings. So this kind of makes the LML tankier and able to move relatively well. So yeah, I wouldn't sleep on the LML here. But the Canadians, of course, they get the M113 ADATS, and this thing is very, very good. So it has a 25 pen missile that fires 2,800 meters range. It's the same speed as a Bastion missile. So something like the T-55 AM2s and the T-62s get as like the HGM they can fire out their main gun. It's the same sort of velocity on the ground. So very fast. 2,800 meter, 25 pen is huge. It's also obviously got decent range against helicopters and aircraft, 60% accuracy. This unit is amazing. The only thing that lets it down is its radar. So it's very vulnerable to seed. And it's 200 points apiece. So yeah, very good unit, but yeah, it's vulnerable to seed. Like that is the biggest weakness for this thing, because you can't like turn off the anti-air capability separately. It needs to have the radar on to even engage ground targets, because the way that you turn off radar in this game is by turning off the weapon itself. So yeah, vulnerable to seed, but otherwise very cool. And then we got the Sky Guard, which is a really solid twin 35 mil. I mean, this is awesome. Awesome sort of spag unit. Yeah, cool. Very cool. All right, moving on to the heli. We have the CH-135 with 80 rockets. Now, you're hitting a tank in the side armor with these. You kill them so fast. It gets 35 of these rockets. Yeah, these are very nasty. Very nasty indeed. So you may look at this and go, oh, that's kind of weird. Like 12 AP, 2,275 meter range. If you get these in range of like a tank, that tank's having a bad time. That's what I'll tell you. In the front armor, a lot of tanks like T-72s and stuff can probably shrug these off, but it's all about that side hits, and also like light vehicles and stuff will get hit by these pretty hard. I think in 1v1, I wouldn't be surprised to see these accompanied by like a recon helicopter just to hit someone's convoy at the start of the game. You can get the tow cobra as well with the ITO and Hydra rockets. It's a limited amount of Hydra rockets though, so it's all about like the long range engagement generally with these. Air tab, this is where the Canadians really shine. First of all, not so shining Silver Star, CT-133, a very interesting looking aircraft with two 50 cals and then 8 HFAR rockets. It's kind of like World War II era loadout. Yeah, interesting little support rocket aircraft. Can take out light infantry, that's about it. You have some freedom fighters, so the CF-116. This gets to 454 kilogram bombs, 10% ECM, pretty quick, 975 km/h speed, and there's also the cluster variant, but only 2 cluster bombs is not that good of a payload, but 2 big bombs, HE, it's not too bad. The Electric Voodoo makes its way into the game. Unfortunately, not a seed aircraft per se in this game. It's an electronic warfare plane. So no missiles, unfortunately, which it did have in Wargame Red Dragon, but yeah, cool to see it in WARNO for sure. And it has 50% ECM. It does have the electronic warfare trait. For those of you who aren't familiar with the electronic warfare trait, it spots enemy radar units and it reduces any radar unit's accuracy by 20% in the area around it, which is pretty cool. So you bring this in as like a distraction for when your other strikes come in, and you can use this to spot enemy radar AA that you then like bomb or something with your Hornets, so you can see are coming up next. So for example, the CF-188, we've got the Hornets. These guys get the AT rockets. Again, you're going to want to try and side hit with these if you use them. They don't actually have much HE, so they're not doing much damage against infantry, but they'll do a decent amount of damage against vehicles. Very interesting aircraft. I found that if I was ground strafing infantry, it would use the Vulcan on the infantry and then fire the rockets at the tanks if they were in line of sight. So that was cool. But yeah, 40% ECM on the Hornet, guys. 40% and 1,250 km/h speed. So these are very good. Very good indeed. They get the AIM-9. We got the HE loadout with the 454 kilogram bombs. We've got a cluster loadout with 6 Rockeyes. These dive attack. So the bombs are actually very like concentrated, which makes this loadout with the 6 Rockeyes really good. and then the AA variant as well with the Sparrows. So you get 4 of those Sparrows. Sparrows like got buffed in like the previous patch to 8,475 meter range, so a decent ASF with decent ECM, reasonably priced. Yeah, all round really cool, really cool. All right, let's go ahead and put together a quick deck. So starting in logistics, do I want a fob? For this deck, probably not. But we do have a reasonable amount of activation points. So I can put in like Iltis, CP. We could do CH, Mancat, and maybe some M54s, something like that would be a good way to go. For the infantry tab, we definitely want the Erics with the Grizzlies. That's like the priority. I don't know if I want to upvet these because I feel like they're so good that I kind of want as many as I can get. I'm thinking we go for these in Grizzlies as well. Really cheap. Really cheap. Then we're looking at these, like the 11-man squads. I think I might upvet those. And we'll upvet like these ones as well. So that's a triple MG squad. Those are going to be fantastic for like longer range engagements. And then, I mean, even these will be fine as well. Very cheap and cheerful infantry. Decent leader. Pop that in. We'll probably want TOW 2s. And then maybe I could do even reserves. If I wanted to add to this, I would add reserves and military police. But we'll come back to it. I'm going to drop in both cards of the M109s. We could actually get 4 cards of these. Okay, I didn't actually notice that at the time. That's a lot of M109s. We probably want to go like 2 cards and some mortars. We'll bring them in the M113 just so that they're a bit more protected if counter battery hits them. Then we will go for upvetted C1s with the Leopard C1 leader. I'll bring in the tour. We'll do. We'll just do 1 with like that. We'll bring in the other tanks there as well. I think that's all I'm going to do in the tab there. For the recon activation points is kind of forgiving. Bring in the recon helicopter, UAV rocket thing. I think I want mech recce. We want the GSR recce. Do I want snipers? Probably not. I don't think I need them. Anyway, here's ADATS. Do I upvet the ADATS? I mean, considering they're going to be on the front line a lot, I don't think you do. But I am going to go blowpipe with blowpipe CUCV because that is a cool combination. And then maybe a Sky Guard as well. Heli tab, AT rocket helicopter, and then air tab. The activation point seems very generous here. So electric voodoo with AA plus bomber cluster AT rocket plane. Do I double up on the CF? I don't know. It's interesting. I don't normally get to the air tab and not be able to like fill up all my activation points. So let me just look at what we're missing here, and then we can jump back into it. Because overall, okay already. Where are we loose? Maybe I can chuck in some reserves and yeah, we could do that for sure. And then we have 2 points left in the recon tab. Tell you what, I'm going to put some Cougar Recce's in there with increased veterancy. And we'll see if they can maybe do some decent damage for me. Cool. It would either be those or the snipers that I would put in instead. We've got a decent wave of infantry that we can throw at the enemy. Got the ADATS support for the C1 tanks. Because I feel like in general these aren't going to be that useful. Also, I'm going to get a little bit more Leopard C1s. But yeah, I don't think these are going to be that useful because generally you're going to be having ADATS behind your tanks. ADATS are really expensive though. Cool. Yeah. I think this works out quite nicely. I think the Canadians are going to be super fun. I mean, the Hornets are great. The ADATS are going to get some insane kill lists for people. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.